always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot woot. Hi everyone, this is Julie from Patchworks, and I'm so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV Thursday night here at Patchworks. It is October and it's starting to get cold outside, and I think we have a frost advisory outside tonight. So it is getting to be quilting weather, and I am so excited to be able to share some really fantastic projects for you. Tonight we are featuring our Moda University Club on Must Sew TV. I'm going to show you the latest and greatest Moda fabrics. We're going to talk about some projects and inspiration. I have some show and tell to show you. We'll have some fun trivia questions. I have Tammy at the computer so she can answer your questions. She can share your questions with me if you're watching us live. And then Frank is behind the cameras, so who knows, we might even be able to convince him to come in tonight, even though he's shaking his head no. So why don't we get started, and I am going to share with you this month's club selections for fabric. So this month we have some really great fabrics to share. Our Color Builders theme fabric, which is these beautiful purples, and we are able to be back in line with the Aurifil Color Builder box, being able to match with our Color Builder selection. So we have deep violets to vibrant plums, all the way down to light and airy lilac and lavender here. Next, we have Petal Power by my friends Barb and Mary of Me and My Sister Designs. Look at this. I just love, 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 love these giant graphic flowers that we have here. And so this is really reminiscent of some of their original fabric designs that they did with Moda fabrics. You can never go wrong with red, white, and blue. And we have the gorgeous Belle from Minneken Simpson. And so you have these traditional florals, little flag, and just great blenders, very traditional, very classic, very Minneken Simpson. Here I have some autumnal fabric to share with you. This is not new, but it is that time of year, and we have some great fat eighth packs to share with you, and I have a project that I'm going to share with you as well with this. So I wanted to show you the hint of metallic with the autumnal fabrics for these gorgeous Moda fabrics from Sentimental Studios, and then our grunge theme pack is inspired by this palette. So we go from the burnt rust, some deep yellows, some greens, brown, and some espresso here. So perfect for the season to be able to have some great projects. So for our projects, I have for you several different things that I am going to share with you. The first thing that I want to share with you is this really fun project. So this here, this is the love bug, and you know, you may have seen the love bug around throughout different blogs or social media along the way. And this cute little pillow, here we made him without eyes because we weren't sure the age of the child that we wanted to gift this to. And so we didn't want there to be any button eyes or anything dimensional that might be able to be eaten or choked on. So, but you can see here what's really fun with this pillow is that we have some pockets, and it's intended to give us a nice little hug. So let me clear off my table, and then we're going to talk all about this fun project. So all of our club members are going to receive this particular pattern, but this is also a free and downloadable pattern that you'll be able to download off of the Moda website. And the Sew a Little Love Bug here is for mental health awareness. And Moda and Creativity Shell are calling on quilt shops and sewists everywhere to sew for a cause. So you can see here the different love bugs. And you can sew one to share. You can make them for those that you love. But I love that this little pocket here helps you really feel snug if you are wanting to cuddle up with something. This calls for fat quarters, but we actually used our fat eighth packs. And for our fat eighth packs, what we did is that we took eight of our fat eighths, paired them up, and sewed down the long edge. And this was the pairing that we did. So you would need a total of 5 fat, oh, we should be overhead, Frank. Okay, so we have 4 combinations that we sewed together. You would need a total of 5 pieces of fabric that are 18 by 20. So either 5 fat quarters, or you could take a fat eighth pack. I know many of you club members have a lot of fat eighth packs, so this would be a great use for them. And so we straightened our long edges and sewed them together. And then we can fold and press them, just because all of the pieces that we have here, so for the head and for the wings, they are folded shut. One element that we also added is that I did have Heidi edge stitch these so that they would stay nice and put. If you were using fat quarters, I would also edge stitch this so that this would not, so that this would stay nice and tight as you would be assembling it. For the back side, we also pieced 2 fat eighths together. If you wanted to, you could even split it up more and turn that into a 4 patch, or you could use just a combination of fabrics to be able to get this size circle out of it. Okay, so we have this for one wing, this combination for a second wing, and then for our face, we have this guy here. We use this combination for our back, and then we took some of this beautiful green fabric from the Petal Power line to be able to use for the body here. Okay, so whether you're using whole pieces of fabric or you're piecing scraps together, you want to make sure that you have these sizes. Then what we are going to do is that we are going to take our pattern, and you can see here I have 4 different copies here. So I had made copies on my copier so that I could print my circle if you didn't have a circle. And then you're going to first lay your body down. You're going to take each of the wings and put them right sides out. Okay. And we can lay them on. Now, depending on how you lay them down is how your wings are going to be separated. So in this case, the wings were a little bit farther apart. In some of the other samples, they're overlapping a little bit. The key part of the wings are that you want to make sure that it's snug enough so that when it's embraced, it can you can tuck your little hands in so that it can hug you back. Okay? And then you would put the face over. Okay, so we could do it like this. It's just two different options that you can see the different options here. Okay, so this has it a little bit tighter than this. Okay, you have your back that you would want. Now here you're going to put it right sides together to tighten this all up. And you'll want to make sure if you have a pieced back that it lines up in between your wings. It doesn't need to be perfect, it's a sewing project. And then we will arrange this. Okay, so our circle here that we've made, and what we can do is we can trace. Okay, pin, 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 and then we would sew it and stuff it. Now you can see here that we have little legs, and the love bug here has 4 legs. Your little critter, you might want to have no legs or more legs, your choice. And when you're attaching the legs, we just used some scraps and sewed them together so that we had these little tubes. If you wanted to fill them up with stuffing, you could. You could use rickrack, you could use twill tape, you could do ribbon loops, all sorts of different options. If you are going to be inserting legs, after you trace and cut your circle, you would want to make sure that you insert them on the inside. And the instructions give you really great instructions how you do that, how you tuck them in, so that they come out on the outside versus you sewing them into the center. Okay? So, I don't know about you, but I've sewn 1 or 2 dimensional things inside my project. Bah! And then you have to take it out. So, things for you to think about if you're making this for different age groups is you could applique some really cool eyes on there. If you knew it was going to older individuals and you didn't want to use buttons, you could make some yo-yos. If you were using this fabric, I could see, oh, wouldn't this be cool if you appliqued some fussy cut circles. And I'm just going to come over to the scraps here that we have here, because this is what we had left over from the project that we made. Oh, I'm just thinking about this now. So what we could do is you could actually take some of your scrap here, okay? Take a little bit of fusible, and wouldn't these be 2 great eyes? And then you could just put them on top just like that. Oh, that'd be really cool. So options are endless. Play with it, have lots of fun. There was no quilting that was done. It was just a sewing project. If you had wanted to, you absolutely could back one of these with fusible fleece and quilt it as desired. Any questions on our love bug? So Linda wants to know if we can stick the hands underneath the face. And yes, so it is entirely tuckable. And because of how we're making this, everything is a finished edge. Okay, so you could, I don't know, I'm just playing with this now, okay? This is not the same, but just so you could see how it's constructed, okay? And we did go ahead and we used a bag of the Hobbs Polydown Polyfill that we carry here at the store. And you can use any polyfill or batting scrap or fabric scrap that you would like to make it. Any other questions? We do not have round pillow forms, that is correct. Any other questions? Okay, so there is all sorts of information on this particular program. And Tammy went ahead, posted a link for you to not only have the pattern, also to find information out about the program. And if this is a program that you wanted to contribute to, more information on that there. We used almost all the whole bag of stuffing. Let me just grab this bag for you. This is, so the bag of stuffing is like this. It is $5.99 that we have here at the store, and this is how much we had left. We probably could have filled it a little bit more full, but we chose not to. And if you wanted to be a little bit more frugal, you probably could divide it equally to make 2 different love bugs with 5 half yards to be able to make 2 love bugs and have that work, just like that. Any other questions? All right, so let's take a peek at all of the beautiful Petal Power fabric that we have to share with you. I'll put this guy back up on the shelf and we will look at all of the great fabric. You can see as I'm putting this back up here, I have the Yuletide Gathering quilt behind me, and that is to remind me to share with you that we have made more kits of the Yuletide Gathering panel quilt that we had shared with you last month. So if you did not pick one up, I think we have maybe 6 or so kits left. You'll want to scoop that up. It is $74.99. It includes the pattern, the panel, the inner border, the binding, and the layer cake to make all the insides. You'll need 3 yards to make a back, and it also includes information for making it bigger by having an outer border on that. So you'll want to pick that up. For the fabrics that we have here, I keep on forgetting that you can't see me no matter where I go. So I have to stay like right here, dancing for you. So we have all of beautiful pre-cuts, which are the jelly rolls and charm packs and layer cake, so that you can make all sorts of really great things from that. And then we also made some towers, and in the towers there are 33 fabrics in this fabric line. So we have the half yard towers and we also have the fat quarter towers. If you needed a yard tower, we could hook you up with that. So this is what the half yard tower looks like. Ooh, ah. And let's look overhead so that we can peruse the fabric in this line. All right, so we'll have to look here at this. I just have to show you the focus fabric first. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we have this rainbow. It reminds me of, oh, what is the name of that candy that comes on the paper? What is it called? Maybe that is a trivia question. What is the name of the candy that comes on the long paper strips? And so this is a rainbow that goes selvage to selvage. Love it. Love, love, love it. We have a white on white here that has this flower print. Then we have this geometric, I love, love, love those triangles, and this nice stripe that's printed on the diagonal. Perfect, perfect, perfect for binding. So I didn't tell you what you're going to get so that trivia question, I'll show you after I share all this fabric with you. Oh, so pretty. And then you get into the great fuchsias, and we have yellow. I think they call it y'all yellow. And this one here, orange. Orange is sometimes really hard to get in some of these fabrics, but it really adds a punch to it. This print here, I don't know, I have to maybe ask Barb and Mary if this is the exact same print that we had before. It looks very familiar to one that's appeared in previous lines. That lime. Have to push it up a little bit? Okay. And then this great blue. And I'm running out of space here. Can you still see this? Yeah. Okay. So we have this floral print with the white background, a fuchsia background, the yawl yellow, a lime green, and this blue. 33 amazing pieces. The latest book that is available from Barb and Mary is It Takes Two, which are quick and easy patterns for 2 fat quarters. And these are great projects for gift giving this time of year or any time of year. It includes some favorites that were released previously as standalone patterns or bonus patterns. And so like our Froggy here. So Froggy was part of a pattern called Frog Patch, which was a 9-patch pattern released back in the day. And the frog has come back in this It Takes Two. And it doesn't have to just be fat quarters. Like the Froggy would be perfect to make with your fat 1/8 packs. So has anybody made the frog before from back in the day? Then we have Third Time's a Charm again. And so if you aren't familiar, Barb and Mary had released 3 different previous books that featured charm packs and went through the alphabet with different names for different fun quilts. And so this one is another one. And then, of course, we have my favorite quilt book, 12-pack quilts, woot, woot. So all of the different quilt books, and Barb and Mary have a great, easy to follow style. And we have their books in stock today. Oh, so we have someone who has made the frog years ago. It's time to make another frog. So it's kind of crazy. We had frogs here in the shop, and it was so strange because the frogs kept disappearing. And it was just so crazy. They were just hopping away. So, time to make another frog. So, for those of you that are playing along in the trivia, we randomly pull trivia answer enterers on Saturday morning. So the question is, what candy does this fabric remind you of? And the winner of that will get this amazing prize of, a Moda Fabrics velvet pouch that has a create pin in it. Fancy. So, super cool. And you can either wear the create or you can attach it to a bag or other project. So what other fabrics and projects do I have to share with you today? Well, we're going to go down the line, and the next fat 1/8 pack that I shared with you was the Belle by Minneken Simpson. So the Belle by Minneken Simpson, I'm just going to grab the fabric to share with you, is a red, white, and blue collection that has gorgeous florals, and it has 39 pieces in the collection. A lot of the Minneken Simpson fabrics go backwards and forwards through the years, so you can be confident that they all work together. And I love, love, love that this floral is coming back. So I don't know if it's the exact floral that had appeared before, but this is really reminiscent of a collection that was called Flag Day Farm back in the day. And so this seems to be like Throwback Thursday here, where we have Petal Power, which reminds me of Petal Pushers. And right around that same day was a fabric collection called Flag Day Farm from Minneken Simpson. And this one is called Belle, which is named after a gorgeous island in Michigan. A lot of Minneken Simpson's fabric lines are named after places in Michigan, if you did not know that. So we are going to check out some inspiration that we made with a previous fabric collection from there. So before we peek at the fabrics, we are going to look at these Quilt As You Go pillows that I had introduced with a previous Minneken Simpson fabric line. So in this particular pattern, we have 3 different Quilt As You Go patterns. I have the batting right here. Has all 3. So I had actually made these with fat eighths. So I took 1 fat eighth pack to make all 3 of the tops, and then I just used extra fabric. So I got a yard of fabric for making the backs. And then for the zipper, you could do an envelope finish if you wanted. You could use the June Taylor Zippity Doo Done, where you just slide that edge in, or you could use a standard zipper. The Quilt As You Go pre-printed batting here does make the 3 pillows, and you need them to be they're a 16-inch finished. So for your zipper, you'd either use the 22 length that we sell here of just the plain, or the 18-inch of the Zippity Doo Done. For this particular pillow back that we made, we went ahead and we backed the fabric with a fusible fleece so that it would give it a little bit more oomph. And I think, I actually put a lining in there too because I was super fancy. But you don't need to put a lining in there. You don't need to be that fancy. The 16-inch pillow forms are $7.99, and we carry them here in the store. And for this outer edge, because I really like the edge that we put on here, we just finish it with a bound finish, which gives it the faux piping look. It's much simpler to put together. And if you can bind a quilt, you can bind a pillow using our bias binding on a roll is the super easy way to do it. And these whip up super, super quick. I didn't add any additional quilting. Frank, if we look overhead here, I know you can't see them all in the frame here, but we did not add any additional quilting at all. We just did the stitch and flip. You could, of course, do crazy embellishment in here, or if you wanted to practice some free motion quilting, you absolutely could do that. And I very simply installed a zipper here, and then we have that bound finish with a machine finish on that binding. Very fat eighth friendly here. As a reminder, this is not the Belle Isle. This was a previous Minneken Simpson collection, but you can see how lovely these fabrics just all blend together, right? Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way so I can show you all of the great fabric from this fabric line. So they're 39, right? Didn't I say that? 39. And we're going to start with the key piece here because, oh, this is like my favorite piece. This floral is amazing. So I'm going to open this whole thing up so that you can see it. Okay. Oh, so pretty. And we have the layer cake, the charm pack, the jelly roll, and we also got the mini charm in this particular collection. A lot of the traditional collections that we get, I know people do make hexes with them or make small little projects or just want swatches. So let's see what else is in this fabric collection. We have a white on white, which has the print on here are the dots. Let me move this over a little bit here so we can fit all of them on. Okay, so this grid, this diagonal grid, is what is the pattern in here. Then we have this great dot, which is red and blue. Nice small floral, ticking stripe, paisley, blue on white, some nice stars, this print in red, and if you had wanted, if you just wanted to make a red and white quilt, these are beautiful. In here, you can see the little flag poking out, which is so sweet. And the paisley. Prairie Paisley was the name of another beloved Minneken Simpson fabric line. Does anyone remember the Flag Day Farm quilt? And there's a little bit of pink in here, which gives it that light and airy touch. And it always reminds me of Lori Simpson when I see the pink. She wears a lot of Oxford shirts, and I can just see her hand stitching in her beautiful pink Oxford shirt. And then we have the light blue. Floral with the dark. Stars. Love that grid. And then we will, got to go up. We'll just cover some fabrics up. Gorgeous. So this is the collection, 39 pieces. We have fat quarter towers, half yard towers. We had someone ask to cut them a yard tower, so I'd be more than happy to cut whatever you would like, as well as the pre-cuts. A pattern that we brought in to coordinate with this fabric line is the Grand Union, and that finishes 65 by 81. And you will use 4 1/4 yards of background. You'll use 3/4 of a yard of blue fabric for binding and blocks. You'll use 8 fat eighths for the blocks and 7 red prints for the stripes and blocks. So, gorgeous. Go ahead, get a yard of everything, and then you'd be able to make that quilt. So 65 by 81. It's a really nice patriotic themed pattern, and Lori always does a really great job writing these patterns. It is $10 and is available in store and online. So our next question that we are going to have is, what state is the island Belle Isle located? And you will win a super cool Moda themed gift pack that has, oh my goodness, there's so much in this one. Ah, I dropped something. It is, you will get a scissor, a ruler, a keychain, and a magnet. This is fabulous. Okay, so what state is Belle Isle located? I was digging deep into the Moda prize bin this month. Whew, you're going to want to pay attention and watch till the end so that you can enter into win all of the fun different prizes that we have. Any questions? Has anyone made any of the Quilt As You Go pillows? And if so, did you like making them? Only answer if you have enjoyed it. No. Joanne says she loves the Flag Day Farm quilt. So, I did too. next up, we are going to talk about the Autumnal Fabric. So the project that I have behind us is Trafalgar, which is a table runner from the Tabletastic book. And in the Tabletastic book, it is Tabletastic 1 is the book here. And so how can you tell the difference between the Tabletastic? I have Tabletastic 1 and Tabletastic 2, which are both from Antler Quilt Designs. So Doug does a really great job. And I have 2 Tabletastic 1s because they're so fabulous. So the Tabletastic 1 has the white, see, you never know what you're going to see, all of this great entertainment. So the Tabletastic 1 has a white spiral bound, and Tammy just grabbed for me Tabletastic 2. You need both of them in your collection, has the silver. So if you have a Tabletastic and you don't know which one, you want to make sure that you can check, and Frank, let's look at this overhead so that you can see there's 2 different spirals. So what is Tabletastic 3 color coil going to be? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out. So Trafalgar is on page 5, and we have, our club members will have details on how you are going to cut it from a fat 1/8 pack versus cutting it from 5-inch squares. So it is either charm pack friendly or scrap fabric friendly or yardage. And I have a board that I'm going to share with you. Let me grab that board and let's see if we can line this up right. Can we see this, Frank? Da-da-da. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so there are a couple different options here of how we put these together, or a couple different units. So we're making half square triangles, where we take squares, pair them together, draw our lines with a quick quarter ruler, sew them, cut them apart. Then we have this connector corner piece where it's not a flying goose, but it's kind of like a flying goose. So we put our square on top of our rectangle, draw our line point to point, sew, flip it back, and then do it on the other side so that you end up with this interesting unit. So we're going to be making lefts and rights. You need to make sure that you follow the instructions to make them left and right because they're mirror images, and if you make them all one way, you'll be sad. And I'll have to sell you more fabric. And then we're going to make a square and a square. And so when you're making a square and a square, we're starting here with this triangle that we're sewing on. You want to find the center in your triangle and on your base square. And to do that, I fold them in half and give it a little nail press so that I can line them up. And then I pin and then I sew. You want to make sure that when you're sewing this on, you aren't concerned that you will have a long tail on your top and bottom. And the reason why you have a tail on the top and bottom is that when you attach the sides that 1/4 inch will intersect in the valley there. But you need to start, and I always get caught up when I start making a new project, when I put this square and a square method, where I think I'm off or I cut my triangles too big. But no, if you want it to end up like this, you do have an oversized triangle on your top and bottom to start. And then you would square this up to size. So the pattern makes this beautiful quilt that we have on this back wall, and the table runner has 3 blocks in it. This could be transformed into a full-size quilt fairly easily, and I do believe after the first time that we presented it, one of our club members, Mary, had gone ahead and made a larger quilt from this. That was absolutely gorgeous. So Mary, if you're watching, make sure to submit that picture again for us so that we can share it with Show and Tell, because that would be great to look at next month. Okay, so that is Tabletastic. That's from our Tabletastic book. Any questions on this one here? And while we are looking for the pictures, I'm going to have Frank pull up a picture that I forgot to share with you. And the picture is from a table runner from Tabletastic 2. And that is, I'm just going to hop over by him so that he can see it. Do you have that up here? Okay, so it is the Willowbrook, which is on page 8. And in the book, I'm going to pull the book picture up too so that you can see it, because the original pattern is sharing it with, or shows it with basic gray. And so this is last year's basic gray, but it would go super well with this year's, oh my goodness, that Christmas line. What is that Christmas line called, Tammy? The new one. The one that you just bought 2.5 yards of. She bought 2 yards. So this one here, it is a Hustle and Bustle. So it's a 2.5-inch strip quilt. And I love here how you have that disappearing link go through it. So we have that picture that was with the Petal Power fabric line. You could also see it in the book with the basic gray combination, and the colors translate really, really well into this year's Hustle and Bustle line. We have pre-cuts of that as well as yardage in store. So if you don't have Tabletastic 1 and 2, you absolutely want to pick them up because they are just such great books to have on hand. Each of them has 20 different runners in them. And on the backs of these books, or at least of the first one, there are alternate options for making them bigger, maybe. Or maybe I just made that up. I lied. They are great books though, and you could easily, I'm sorry, Tammy's over there laughing, so she can't laugh at me while I'm talking. So you could easily translate and turn them into a bigger quilt. Okay, so now before we hop to our show and tell, I want to show you another fabric line that we have in stock that was not a fabric option for you, but is new. And that is the Together. Oh, it is the, I'm sorry, it's the Sincerely Yours fabric line by Sherry and Chelsea that is being used for the Stitch Pink 2021. And the Stitch Pink 2021 is going to kick off as an online quilt along on October 26th. So there's still time to pick up your kit to play along. Well, we have all of the yardage in stock too, and I wanted to share that with you. So I'm just going to take one of the kits apart so we can look at the different fabric packs. Rather than me tearing apart a fat quarter bundle, I'll tear apart a kit. So we have this, we're going to start by sharing with you that we have this pattern available separately or in the kit. And this is a 64.5 by 75 inch. Little flatter. Can you see that without a glare? Okay, 64 by 75. You'd want 4 yards of backing. We have several of our kits that still have the Stitch Pink magnetic purse pack notepad available, so that's exclusive at Patchworks. And then we have hearts. So this is a Valentine line or a Stitch Pink line or just a whimsical line. Look at these beautiful flowers and these ditzy little X's, the hearts. So we didn't get the entire collection, but we got the entire collection that was used in the Stitch Pink colorway. So there may be in the original fabric line some purples and plums that we didn't get, but this particular fabric collection goes really well together. This polka dot is spectacular. We actually got several bolts of this because it's just such a great background. It's a polka dot, so it's a white on cream or a cream on cream. Makes a great background and is the background for this kit. The quilt kit is $144.99 and the yardage is available separately. So the pattern I'm going to take out of the pack here just so you can see how it all goes together. And as I said, the quilt along starts on October 26th if you wanted to quilt along with other quilters. And they're going to go over some tips and tricks for putting this together. It's a great heart quilt, so it's not a ribbon quilt per se, and definitely is not even seasonal. I mean, like, I just love surrounding everything with hearts. I don't know if you know this, but I wear a heart necklace every single day. Surrounding yourself with good energy is always a good thing to help keep the positivity going. So that is our Stitch Pink. We have a Stitch Pink magnet here that we're going to give away as a prize. Ooh, Stitch Pink magnet. And the question is, what's the question? The question is, no, I can't say that. Frank's laughing at me. So I'm going to use a Frank question. So Frank shared a question with us earlier today, and that is, how much does the gold seal scissor weigh? In grams. Okay, we're going to weigh it, and this is going to be a fun, so this is just a guessing game, and I love it. So one lucky winner is going to get the Stitch Pink magnet, and all you have to do is actually enter into the drawing in order to be eligible to win. And then we'll have a super good prize for you if you are closest to the actual grams. So these are our hefty scissors that we use all the time. They're gold seal dressmaker shears. Thank you, Frank, for your inspiration today. What you missed before the show when we were testing out the camera position, Frank was doing our screen test for us today. And oh, I wish I could have grabbed some of that imagery for you because it was awesome. And someday I think he might just stand in and be my substitute for a day because he gives a great presentation. So let's take a peek at some of the great stuff that you have been working on. We pulled some show and tell from our Patchworks party. So let's go and take a peek at that. And we will start with Denise. She has finished her Getting to Know You. She just had it quilted by Angie, and oh my goodness, it's on her bed. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Great job, Denise. Patty loves her gnomes, and she is ready for this holiday season with this great table runner. Roberta is super excited. She picked up a panel, and this is what we are hanging as our banner outside the store right now. She got this because her husband has this great truck that matches. So if you are on Patchworks Party, you can see the picture of the truck as well. So we have a couple of those panels left if you need a panel banner just like that. Mary is making some spooky potions, so her Halloween project is ready to go. Betsy has been using kitty corn for making some really fun pumpkins. Margaret Ann has been sewing up a storm with Halloween pillowcases and masks and pouches, I believe. So great job. Keep on sewing. Keep on playing with that Halloween fabric. We have lots still in store. And Fran knows that I love my Ghastlies. And so she made some great Ghastly mug mats and shared them with us today. So thanks so much, Fran, for sharing. Kathy has been whipping up some fun Halloween projects as well. This checkerboard border is a great way to finish off of a panel, and you can use the pieced border like that, very versatile, to finish off any project. Jerry's been keeping up with her Moda projects, so she has her Debbie Maddie project here, and so those of you that are in Moda, you might remember that you got the motivational video to make the full-size quilt of this. And thanks, Jerry, for making the small project. We still have yardage in stock for this beautiful fabric line. And she was super quick to finish up her Yuletide Gatherings quilt. Gorgeous job. Robin put together this Quilt As You Go sewing machine cover, and this is the back side, and then we're going to see the front side. So this is 2.5-inch strip friendly. It would be really great to use with your scraps. I believe it would also be fat eighth pack friendly, but I don't know for certain. Mary was working on her songbook project, and we got those panels back in stock. So if you thought you missed out, we have them back in stock, as well as a little bit of yardage, so you can pick that package up. And we're super excited that we will be carrying Fancy That Design House's next fabric line, which is a Christmas line that is coming out next spring. And Pat is recently retired, and she is sewing up a storm. So we have an Alexander Quilt As You Go bag. We have this beautiful hexagon table topper, this super cute quilt, Sunbonnet Sue. We have a Tory Tote Quilt As You Go. We have a beautiful applique. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. So great job, Pat, quilting all of the things. Shayna Liz made this super cute kids jacket, and she used some Ruby Star as the lining. That is just so super cute. Sue is working on all of these great by Annie's projects. So this is a back of the car seat holder. Our very own Tammy has been getting ready for Halloween and made this great trick-or-treat bag. So she embroidered on the back side, and then the front side is just a fun trick-or-treat panel. So we still have a couple of those panels back in the store. Sue has been working on some great tree skirts. So this tree skirt here, she not only used the Quilt As You Go project, but she thought, you know what, I'm going to make this even better. And so she went ahead and quilted it to show off that fabric, which is fabulous. Great job, Sue. And Sandra has finished her quilt along quilt top. Congratulations, that is so much fun. Such a great job. Whew, so much show and tell today. So much show and tell. Before we draw for names, I have a couple other new things that I need to show you that have come into the store. And we have the Home Sweet Holidays box kit that came in. Let's look at this overhead. So this is the new Deb Strain Christmas line. The pre-cuts and box kit has shipped. I think I was able to share with you that the layer cake and jelly roll and charm pack shipped. We had that last month. The yardage is still coming, but we are super excited to have this toy store box kit in stock that has everything you need to make this little quilt kit. So I'm just going to take it out of the plastic so that you can see it a little bit better. How's that, Frank? Okay, and so it is a 50 by 66 lap quilt, and we have everything that you need to make the top and binding. And I just have to show you on the inside of this little box is a little truck. So cute. So this particular box kit is $103.99, so a super great price. And as I said, we will be getting the coordinating yardage for your backing and other projects. If you needed to get it done like right away, this actually goes really well with some of the other Deb Strain lines that we have in stock right now. So you'd be able to have coordinating fabric for that back if you needed to finish it like tomorrow. Okay, then we have, what do we have? We have some Outdoorsy by Kathy Holden. And are we looking overhead, Frank? So this is that collage-y style, and this is old-fashioned postcards from travel. And I love this style of different things. So outdoorsy, you know, camping or hiking. So we have it in two different colorways here because I just couldn't decide. And I love that ephemera look. I also love my birds. I love birds. I am not a bird watcher. I don't understand the different types. I can't identify them, but I just am fascinated by them. I love my birds. And then we have this one as well. So we don't have the whole collection, but we have some key pieces here that work beautifully for making a fun little project, travel or such. My next trivia question is going to feature 3 beautiful Outdoorsy badges. Ha ha ha. How cool is that? So, who is the designer of Outdoorsy? Dun dun dun. One lucky winner will get these cool badges. Okay, so we have a question about the Deb Strain kit. And what is the question, Tammy? Very good question. Are the toys pieced or printed on a panel? So let me just take the cover again so we can take a peek at this. So the panel components are this square, this big square, this square, and this square. The train, oh, okay, let's look again. It's like this is the first time we're doing this tonight. Man, so this, and this are panels. The train is pieced, the packages are pieced, and the trees are pieced. This is Coach House Designs. Coach House Designs has very easy to read patterns, so everything that you need to make this is included in here. Does that answer the question? Okay. All right, so then we looked at the Outdoorsy. I just want to remind you that we have Halloween coming up. We have in stock just a couple more of the kitty corn box kits. Some towers of the entire collection. We have some yardages, just a few. We do have some of the pre-cuts of that. Other fabric lines that we have the Holiday Essentials Happy Halloween from Stacy East Shoe. And then what everyone's been waiting for, Midnight Magic 2 is scheduled to ship in the next few days. So we have the pre-cuts right now and the template, the acrylic template of the candy corn to go with the Eat Me for the candy corn pattern that will be shipping with the fabric. So that is super, super exciting. If you want to be notified as soon as that yardage comes in, let us know, because we'll make sure that you can get that fabric, and then you'll be able to whip up that quilt just in time for Halloween. And speaking of Halloween, this Saturday in Elm Grove in the afternoon is a street party. So I would recommend that you come shopping in the morning to Patchworks before 1 o'clock. We'll be open all day, but just that you're going to be able to get here a little bit easier if you didn't want to partake in street party fun, to come in the morning. And just to make sure that you will come to in the morning, we are going to have Scrap Fest. Yay! So what is Scrap Fest? Well, that is when we take all the bolt ends and leftover pieces and parts, put them out on a table, and you can pick and choose. And then you scoop them up and we weigh them out. It's $16 a pound. Can take as little or as much as you'd like. And yes, scissors are allowed to be able to snip off so that you don't have to take a larger chunk of things, but they're all smaller chunks. Always a very popular event. We haven't had one in a long, long time. And so this Saturday, starting at 9 a.m., and so we'll start handing out numbers at 7. 9 a.m. we will have our Scrap Fest, and that will be a lot of fun for you to be able to go through all of the fun treasures. And for coming here in the afternoon, Frank wants me to make sure that you know there is a back way to come if you had wanted to. So as you come down Elm Grove on Juneau, you're able to come in. We have a back alley. So if you've been shopping here a long time, maybe you had to do that when we had construction on downtown, on Watertown Plank Road. But there's a little alley on the back side, and we're working with the village to put up signs along the way. So if you just follow the Patchworks detour signs, we will be here until 4 o'clock, and there will even be candy handed out on Saturday, so it'll be worth your time to come through. Any questions? No. All right. I think it is time to draw for a winner for our show and tell. And let me just see, did I show you? I showed you Halloween. I showed you Kathy Holden. I showed you Stitch Pink. I showed you Belle Isle and Petal Power. Yay! Okay. Our show and tell winner today will win. Ooh. We have a thatched, which is one of our fun favorite basics that we have from Robin Pickens. We have a thatched mini charm pack. So let's do that. I'm digging deep. And the winner, oh my goodness, congratulations, Sandra Riedel, congratulations. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you had fun. I hope we weren't too crazy. I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy quilting. See you soon.